Good morning and welcome to the Steve Jobs Theater. At Apple, we put the customer at the center of everything that we do. A whole new way to enjoy games on the App Store with Apple Arcade.
We are thrilled to launch Apple Arcade on the App Store, the world's first game subscription service for mobile, desktop, and TV. Apple Arcade is the only place you can get unlimited access to over 100 groundbreaking, exclusive new games made for iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV. Instead of paying upfront for each game, your subscription lets you download and play any Apple Arcade game right from the App Store. First up are our partners at Konami, who have delighted players for decades.
Konami could not be more excited to bring our title to Apple Arcade, Frogger in Toy Town. It will be available at launch exclusively on Apple Arcade.
Next up is legendary game studio Capcom.
With Shinsekai Into the Depths, we set out to create a beautiful yet treacherous underwater world. This is humanity's last survivor. Available only on Apple Arcade. Thank you.
Apple Arcade is available starting on September 19th. Over 100 new games to our launch catalog, just $4.99 a month for the whole family with a 1-month free trial.
Next up, let's talk about Apple TV Plus, the best original stories from the most creative minds in television and film. You'll get access to the best movies, comedies, dramas, and kids shows. The first shows will be available on November 1st, over 100 countries at launch, just $4.99 per month. And so starting today, when you buy an iPhone, an iPad, a Mac, or an Apple TV, you'll get 1 year of Apple TV Plus included for free. Now let's turn our attention to iPad.
The new 7th generation iPad. This iPad has a new, larger 10.2-inch Retina display, 3 times the number of pixels, plus greater brightness and a much wider viewing angle. Under the hood of this iPad is the A10 Fusion chip, 2 times faster than that top-selling PC. Support for Apple Pencil and a full-size smart keyboard, great cameras, sensors, and ultra-fast wireless that's durable and weighs about a pound. It is made from 100% recycled aluminum, $329. It will start shipping at the end of the month.
Now, next up, let's talk about Apple Watch.
Apple Watch Series 5, the new always-on Retina display, never sleeps, so the watch face is always visible. Low-temperature polysilicon and oxide display, or LTPO. All-day, 18-hour battery life. A built-in compass. You can add the compass to your watch face so you can see your direction at a glance. And there's even a new Compass app, which allows you to see not only your heading, but also your latitude, longitude, current elevation, and incline. So the direction is always clear when you're hiking with Wikiloc, paddleboarding with GoSup, or searching out the constellations with Night Sky. So you can call emergency services in over 150 countries around the world just by pressing and holding down the side button, even without your iPhone. Aluminum models come in silver, gold, and space gray. And now the cases are made from 100% recycled aluminum. Stainless steel models come in gold, space black, and polished, the first time in titanium. Series 5 will be available in ceramic as well, in this brilliant white color. There are new Apple Watch Nike models featuring new Nike sport bands, new reflective sport loops, and cool new Nike watch faces. And there are new Hermes models, and these beautiful color block bands with a classic Hermes print. Aren't they cool? This year, we're also introducing Hermes models in black. You can take an ECG, fall detection, Apple Pay, all the new features of watchOS 6. It truly is the most capable Apple Watch ever. Series 5 GPS models will and $499 for cellular models. You'll be able to order starting today. We're also keeping the very popular Series 3 in the line. GPS, heart rate sensor, it's swim-proof. The new features of watchOS 6, starting at a low price of just $199.
Next up, let's talk about iPhone. These three iPhones together have a combined 99% customer satisfaction. This is the highest in the industry. This is iPhone 11, the next generation of iPhone.
iPhone 11 has a beautiful anodized aluminum and glass design. And that glass, it's the toughest ever in a smartphone on the front and back. iPhone 11 comes in 6 new colors. It has a 6.1-inch liquid retina display with True Tone, wide color, tap to wake. And now we have spatial audio, which provides an immersive theater-like experience by creating a sound field around you using an Apple-designed virtualizer. We have an amazing dual camera system with an all-new wide camera, with a new sensor with 100% focus pixels for faster autofocus, 3 times faster in low light. And we have a new ultra-wide camera with a 120-degree field of view. This will let you capture way more in your photos and videos. So now, when you're taking a wide camera shot, you'll see our new immersive camera interface that lets you see outside the frame, hinting at a bigger shot. Then you can simply tap to switch to the ultra-wide, revealing more of your scene. This is great for these epic landscape shots where you can see edge to edge all this detail. And it's also great for tight spaces where you can't physically back up, but the ultra-wide lets you do that, revealing more of your story. You can use an angle like this to take a heroic and dynamic shot, because the ultra-wide can elongate your subject, yet keep all these details sharp from her red dress all the way to her face. We've also updated our image pipeline, and it's got our image signal processor, and it has our neural engine for machine learning. And now we've added semantic rendering. This allows us to more intelligently detect subjects and relight them with detail so they look even better, including in our next-gen Smart HDR. You can see the gorgeous smile and her warm face accentuated by the backlit sun. Now we're using multi-scale tone mapping, and people love taking portraits on iPhone 11. And iPhone 11 has this wide-angle camera, so you can take these beautiful wide shots of portraits for people. But now with 2 cameras, we have stereoscopic depth. So now you can also take portraits of your favorite pets. And you can also use creative depth of field for shots like this. Now, we have a new portrait lighting effect, and that's high-key mono from a pretty ordinary background. Let's talk about night mode. This is for those very low light environments, like outdoors at night or inside a dimly lit restaurant. And night mode comes on automatically when it's dark enough to brighten photos and reduce noise. Then we intelligently fuse images together, reducing motion and blur. And all the shots, including the ones overhead, were handheld, so it's making use of our even better cinematic video stabilization. You can easily tap to switch to the ultra-wide camera to capture even more in your scene. You can also use the zoom wheel to just transition easily between the 2 cameras. Because we support 4K resolution up to 60 frames per second, slow-mo, time-lapse, cinematic video stabilization, and now extended dynamic range at 4K up to 60 frames per second. And this is across both cameras, which is pretty cool. So now when you're taking photos and you decide you want to take a quick video, simply tap and hold the shutter button to record a video. In fact, it has the highest quality video ever in a smartphone. We've also updated our front TrueDepth camera to a wider 12-megapixel sensor, but simply rotate to landscape to capture even more people using that wider sensor. Also on the front camera, we've added 4K video with extended dynamic range up to 30 frames per second. Now we've also added slow motion video to the front camera for the first time. Well, now we're introducing the A13 Bionic, the next generation of our industry-leading chip. With the iPhone XR's A12 Bionic chip, it still leads the pack in terms of the latest smartphones and chips. Well, the A13 Bionic is just going to extend that lead even further. The A13 is the fastest CPU ever in a smartphone. Well, if you look at the A12, still leading the pack in GPU performance. And the A13 Bionic is just going to get even faster. It is also the fastest GPU ever in a smartphone.
Pascal's Wager is a dark fantasy action game. It will take on the journey through a massive world. Pre-order exclusively on the App Store next month. Thank you.
So I just have to say how remarkable it is that a game like that with those kinds of phenomenal graphics can run on a small and powerful chip in the palm of your hand with A13 Bionic. So just kudos to that and our incredible silicon engineers. We can't wait to see Pascal's wager and what else other developers will come up with the A13. All right, so battery. We know that battery life is really important to customers. So with the advancements in iPhone 11, it'll still have an hour more than battery than in your iPhone XR for incredible battery life, like faster Face ID, water and dust resistance, wireless charging, Wi-Fi 6, and more, at just $699.
This is the iPhone 11 Pro, and these are the most powerful and most advanced iPhones that we have ever built in a stunning new design.
Is the first phone that we've called Pro. It's made of a surgical-grade stainless steel. That back is a single piece of machined glass with an optical PVD coating. It is a beautiful new matte textured finish. This is an all-new midnight green. Very Pro space gray, beautiful silver, and a new gold. It comes in two sizes, 5.8 inches and 6.5 inches. They have the highest pixel density of any display Apple makes. Our Super Retina display that has 2 million to 1 contrast ratio, P3 wide color, True Tone, haptic touch, and now a much brighter, up to 1,200 nits, 15% more energy efficient. It has the spatial audio sound. It has HDR10, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. So we decided it's worthy of a new name. We call it the Super Retina XDR display.
And we work together to optimize every block on the chip, all the way from the transistor up through the package design to work efficiently for iOS and iPhone. And in our chips, our CPU, GPU, and Neural Engine are all optimized for different types of machine learning workloads, particularly the CPU, the best machine learning platform in any smartphone. An A13 Bionic uses an advanced, improved second-generation 7-nanometer transistor, the most advanced in the industry. And we carefully tailored each transistor for high performance and low power. And we did this with over 8.5 billion transistors. Is our Apple-architected high-efficiency CPU cores. These cores are the most efficient place to run lightweight tasks and powerful enough to use most of the time, giving you great battery life.
That with iPhone 11 Pro, you now get up to 4 hours longer in your day. 11 Pro Max up to 5 hours longer in your day. It has a new wide camera that has a fast f1.8 aperture and focus pixels that cover 100% of the sensor. It is a new telephoto camera with a larger f2.0 aperture. It lets in 40% more light. And has a new ultra-wide camera with a super wide 120-degree field of view and a tremendous range of focus across the entire image. Now, all these work together with the A13 Bionic chip and its new generation image signal processor. And that enables a whole new level of photography, pro photography. We actually paired the 3 cameras right at the factory, calibrating them for color and exposure. And then all the time while you're using them, we actually do some smart things so you can get a smooth transition across all 3 cameras while we minimize any shifts in color or exposure. Now with iOS 13, we have new advanced video editing features built into the Photos app. So you can do things like edit a video for exposure, color temperature, even cropping and scaling. New smarter HDR, new night mode. iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 are made to be designed free from these harmful materials and, of course, to reduce their impact on the environment. And some people like to protect them with cases, so we have a new line of cases for them as well, including clear cases for all 3 models. So iPhone 11 Pro will start at $999, and iPhone 11 Pro Max at just $100 more at $1099. Pre-order all of them starting this Friday at a new time, 5 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. They'll all start shipping on September 20th. In addition to that, we're going to keep iPhone XR in the line, starting at just $599, and iPhone 8 at $449. So there's a lot of great options for people at all different price points.
What an exciting morning. I hope you guys have had as much fun as I have. Yeah.